Hey everyone, welcome back to another Datalytics automation build video. In this walkthrough, we're going to be going over how to create a person and a project automatically inside of Zapier when a Plutio form is submitted. Some prerequisites for this automation is you will need a paid Zapier account and a Plutio account. To begin using this app inside of your account, simply go to the URL in the description of this video. In the overview of this video, I'm going to be showing you how to set up the trigger and each action after the trigger and what they accomplish. So let's get started. The trigger for this app inside of Zapier, we're using Plutio. We're also using the new form submission trigger event inside of this action. We also need to set up our account through Plutio inside of Zapier. You can do that through the API manager settings of Plutio. Once you have that established, you'll be able to use that in each subsequent step and each subsequent Zap if you choose to use Plutio again throughout your Zapier account. Once we accomplish that, we'll be setting up our trigger. So for this use case and for this app inside of Zapier, we're able to select a specific form to trigger off of. So in this case, I have a demo bug report form. So I selected this form in my trigger. Then once you've selected the proper form for your use case, simply test your trigger by dropping down this form and loading more if you have more that you can test. It's highly recommended that you go to your live form and submit data to that form. That way you can use it in Zapier for testing purposes. Once you've ran your test, hit continue. Now our trigger is set up. You can see that by the green arrow. Next, we add our action of create person in Plutio. From here, I'm using the Plutio app, the create person event. I have my account that I've established earlier that I'm using. I'm setting up the action in this step to create the person. So from here, we'll map in some values from the form that we just triggered off of to collect data from. Inside of Plutio, there's two ways you can use the first and last names. It gives it to you in this full name structure. To parse it out in between first and last name in this structure, you'll need to add a step above this to use a formatter step. But Plutio also gives you the ability to parse out the first and last name individually inside of the form data. That's what I've done in this example. So as you can see, the first name is by itself, the last name is by itself. You can also do the same for the email. It gives it to you here, but it also gives it to you towards the bottom of this data structure. You also get the phone number as well if you've collected that from the form. Now inside of this action, you'll need to select a role for this person. You can do it either with the predetermined client role, which is a standard role set and permission set inside of Plutio. You can also use a teammate if you have that selected, or you can use any of the different named contributor roles inside of your account. You can also use a co-owner, but it has to be named as such inside of your account for one of your permissions. That's entered here in all lowercase. You can also invite them to Plutio. So if you mark this as true, it will invite that person to your workspace. From there, you can also send an invite message, so send a custom invite message to that person on that invite email. You could put in any kind of onboarding information or a welcome message, anything you'd like to do. If you'd like to not invite that person at this step, you would just select false, and it will remove that from this step, and it will not invite them on this actual create person step. From there, simply test your action. Please keep in mind when you're developing with Zapier or most any automation tool, when you're testing in an environment as this, it will send live data to your tool. So if you're creating a person and you're sending out an invite, for example, you will be actually completing those actions. So you'll be adding them into Plutio and also sending them an invite. So please keep that in mind when you're developing. From there, Simply close your step and you can see that it's been validated and verified with the green check mark. Our next and last step in this workflow is creating a project. So from here, I'm choosing the same app, Plutio. The event is create project. We're using the same account that we set up earlier. And then setting up the action, we're choosing a project as the entity type. And in my example for my project, to name it, I've selected the first name and the last name of the person I just created, -demo project. You can also select a template to use in this action as well, which Plutio will use to apply to that project when you're creating it. This will pull from your account in this dropdown. So if you have more than one or yours are different than mine, that's because this is linked to my Plutio account as to what I am using in my account. Yours should and will be different. In this action, you can test it. Please keep in mind, as I stated earlier, that this will send data to your Plutio account, but feel free to test it with some test data. Once that's done, hit close, and now you can see that your action has been verified and validated with the green check mark. From there, your Zap has been fully set up. Once you're ready and you feel comfortable using this, make sure to turn it on so it can start processing form submissions. Once that's completed, your Zap is up and running and you're ready to go. Thank you for watching this walkthrough. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to do so now and stay tuned as I post new builds every week. Thank you and see you very soon.